I think this movie is just far too fancy for me because I don't fucking get anything in this fucking movie. Oh shit. Hello everyone, Bubba87 back here again. Welcome back finally to another review of the Alien franchise. Today we're going to be discussing the 2012 kickoff to what was supposed to be a trilogy of prequels, but ended up being a duology. Prometheus, Ridley Scott returned to the Alien franchise as the director. I believe he wrote it as well. And this is something that he apparently really was big about, that he wanted to do this big overarching story about creators, creation, stuff like that. And he tried to work it into the Alien universe. And did he succeed at that? But anyway, Prometheus is about a group of researchers led by these two doctors and a Weyland-Yutani Corporation representative, I suppose. And they take a ship to a faraway planet where they have apparently found connections to these beings they call engineers that created life itself and stuff. So they go there to figure out, try to talk to them, see what happened to them, see why they made us, and if they're alive, and if they're not, what killed them, and stuff like that. And shenanigans ensue, I guess. I don't know. Why don't we get right into the positives of Prometheus? Now, I'm going to say the exact same thing that I've said through all of my Alien reviews, but I think this one especially, I want to preface, is the most deserving of this praise. This is possibly the most beautiful film I've ever seen directing-wise. I mean, some of the shots you get, like when you're first landing on the planet and stuff, you get the overarching stuff, like the whole planet, how grand scale everything is. And then you get these, like, storms, and then all the way up till the end of the movie with the big, like, ships that come up, and everything just looks absolutely phenomenal. There's really no point in the movie where you think a shot looks kind of weird, or a shot looks out of place, or it just feels like this is unnecessary to like focus on. Directing wise, this film I would say is an absolute masterpiece direction wise. Specifically, like what you are seeing, if you put the film on mute, this is a perfect movie. Visually, everything is like perfect, I would say. I mean, like, there's no shot in this movie that you aren't at least a little bit in awe from just the grand spectacle and scale of everything you're seeing. Performance-wise, I don't feel that any actor really brought down the movie at all. I feel like all the performances here throughout the entire film work extremely well together to really make a movie that you're immersed. It's a very immersive movie, I suppose, with how these characters are acted, how the performances from these individuals are. You got your especially Michael Fassbender, right? That's his name, right? Michael Fassbender. Yeah, Michael Fassbender in the role of David the Synthetic. Here, especially the next movie, but mostly here, I think he really brings a lot of the story together in just his mannerisms, and he brings home a lot of the big not plot points, but like messaging, tone, theme points. He brings home, I think, with his acting of the Synthetic, and I think it all just kind of works in a way that really is, it works. I think all the acting works, and what more could you ask for? I apologize if you've been hearing my fan. I would have to say that the gore effects, the special effects that happen to the people themselves, I guess it kind of works into the directing, I said, but the special effects and the gore, the gore is one of the better pieces of, gore in this entire franchise. Typically, the gore in this franchise is very much off-screen or much more, alien-esque. Specifically happening to the xenomorphs. But in this film, there is a lot more gore that happens to people that you actually see visually. And I really do appreciate that, especially since we lack a lot of that in the first several movies in the franchise. Even like the ones I love, like Aliens. The only thing that really kind of lacks there is a bit of gore. Completely made up in this movie, I feel, entirely. The last thing I suppose I will say that goes into the positives of the film is I do think the way that it ends in specific really does work well to set up the following film. And what should have been a trilogy, even though I'm not as high on this movie as... it's a very love-or-hate movie from what I've seen. I tend to find myself in the middle of a lot of like love or hate movies. Unless it's The Driller Killer, then I'm on the love side, but we'll get to that at some point. Wink wink, might be early next year. Mm-hmm. Not early. Never mind, I said that. But I do think the ending is very action-packed. In like an Aliens style way, but also does a good job to set up next installments and continue on in the franchise, since you have a lot of these character build and arcs throughout the movie that kind of ended off in a place that is not necessarily a cliffhanger, so you can watch the film as its own thing, but if you are looking for more, I think it sets it up in a way where you are going to be excited to get more later on, in the next film, Covenant, and whatever was supposed to be the third film that I don't think we're going to be receiving. Also, y'all like my shirt? Y'all like my Gamer at Work shirt? Is this tough? Typically, this is where I would have my mixed opinions, but I don't really have any mixed things on this movie. We're going to go right into the negatives. I feel like even though I'm in the middle of the movie, in terms of my personal opinion on the overall movie, I feel like a lot of things are very love or hate, and I am falling into that category of loving some things and not liking some things. So, negative, first off, this writing is bad. Oh, wow. Wow. It's real interesting to me how these characters who are supposed to be like these incredibly smart, space scientists are fucking stupid. Like, they're fucking stupid as shit. They're fucking dumb as shit. Like, you literally got these people who find a space lizard and they're like, "Hey, buddy! Hi!" Just everything about this movie, and it just goes from 0 to 100 so quick. It's like a guy has a cold, and all of a sudden he's being lit on fire, and I'm like, what? It's literally like, oh my, everybody chill. Everyone chill. Everybody calm down. But they don't calm down. It's just fucking like, you're watching this like pretentious space walk movie, and then all of a sudden you're just, and I'm like, oh my, what the I mean, it kicks in overdrive, I guess, but like, we're just fucking here, and then we're up here, and I was not prepared at all. And normally I say that in a good way, but this is just weird. Like, this is fucking odd how this movie is paced. There's no pacing. It's just slow movie. And then that's how pacing works. Or act structures. Or rising actions. We're just from here to there. I'm like, what? That kind of falls in with, like, the characters are just kind of dumb. Like, you have this really optimistic lady, her kind of optimistic sometimes husband, the asshole representative, the captain. Is that it? You got some cannon fodder, and then everyone else is just cannon fodder. You got like a doctor, I guess. I don't remember her fucking name. It's just, you got your 4 main caricature characters, and then a bunch of people that are here to, you would assume, have cool deaths, I guess. Maybe. And, like, I mean, it's not like there's no one to root for, but there's no one that I really care about at all. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, her surviving would be cool. But, like, I'm not too attached. Like, if she died, I hope it would be cool at least. If she lived, okay, great. But if she died, like, as long as it's a cool death, I'm okay with it. I think the best part of this movie is the fact that it does nothing. Everyone, we are releasing a film that will reveal the origin of the xenomorphs. Hooray! And then 2 hours later, I still don't know what the origin of the xenomorphs are. So, I mean, maybe, I know about these, like, really buff Avatar-looking motherfuckers. And then one gives birth out of his back to something or something. But that, I don't know why the xenomorphs are here. What the fuck is the point of this movie? I actually have nothing else to say about this movie. I went in puzzled at why it's not called Alien Prometheus, and I left puzzled as to why the description of the movie is not the movie. Here's the xenomorph origin. Where is it? Really cool. This movie is lucky it looks really, really, really nice. Because if this was just your, like, average movie, your average, like, space sci-fi thriller, Prometheus, 3.25 out of 5 stars. You lucky son of a bitch. Do you like Prometheus? Do you not like Prometheus? Do you actually fall in the middle, unlike most people in this world? Let me know down below. I'm genuinely interested to know what people think about this movie. Yeah, this was a shorter video, but there's not... I don't know what else to say about this movie, because I feel like I've said everything. It's one of those movies that... One of those movies you kind of have to watch to understand, like, positives and negatives. Because it's a very visual movie, so I can't just say, like, this character sucks, this character's cool, that one kill is great. Like, it's not one of those type of movies. It's not I don't know. Thank you all for watching. I'm sorry the Alien vs. Predator big list... Aliens vs. Predators big list is coming along very slowly. I want to get it done by the end of the year, but I don't know if I will. Might have to push that into 2025. But I have a lot of stuff coming here near the end of the year. About end of the year stuff and pre-2026 stuff. So Aliens and Predators are kind of pushed to the side a little bit in favor of these things that I find more important, because I can always do a review on Alien versus Predator. I can't always do a most hype movies of 2026 list. So what's more precedented and what takes more priority is there. I'm sorry if my voice sounds off. I just did 4 hours of attempts on Five Nights at Freddy's 1 420 mode, the hard difficulty, and didn't beat it and got very angry. Bookman87 out.